Hello everyone, this is Sandra at the Whispering Well. So today's video is going to be about my experiences with the Hare Krishnas. When I've always from small been drawn to the more pagan side of things, but I think very often you go through like a stage of just looking at other religions or religious movements, and that's what I did. And I'd heard about the Hare Krishnas and it just interested me. It's a Hindu religion, so it's Hindu deities and stuff, and I just thought I don't know what it was, it's something that's always kind of drawn me to I like a lot of these sort of Hindu type statues and things that you can get. And then one day I went to, they call it like a mind body spirit fair now that they have in London. It's a great big huge one that they have at Earl's Court, and I went to it when it was called the Mystic Arts Festival, and it was held at Olympia then, and it was the first time I'd ever been to one, and that was where I met for the first time ever a Hare Krishna monk or priest, however you like to say it, and he was selling incense that he has made himself, so it's like his own business, and it's actually called Pure Incense, and I will actually link it below because his incense is really good, and it's temple grade incense, and he sources the ingredients from India, so it's very Indian smelling type of incense, the type that is used in like the Hare Krishna temples. So I met him and we just got chatting, and it was really weird, and I thought, oh, he's like really nice, and I know, the Hare Krishnas get a bad rap, I know they do, and I'm sure it is annoying when you sort of get them coming up to you in the street and trying to get donations from you and things like that, and they're trying to get you to have their books and that type of thing. I mean, for me, I can't kind of be mean, and even when I was approached by one of the Hare Krishna guys in London, I did give him a donation because I just couldn't I couldn't not, but that's just me. It doesn't mean everyone has to do the same thing. Anyway, I met this guy. I think it'll be alright to say his name because you'll see his name if you go to the website. When someone is an actual Hare Krishna monk priest, they get their like Hare Krishna name. So his name is Adi Gurudas, and really nice guy. And we were chatting and stuff, and I said, oh, I'm kind of interested, and he said, well, you, whereabouts do you live? And I was telling him. He said, oh, you're not too far from Watford, and that's where Bhaktivedanta Manor is, which was is a big manor house that was given to the Hare Krishna movement by George Harrison of the Beatles, and it's lovely there, really really nice, the grounds and everything. But he said to me, if you're interested in having a look around, I'd like escort you round and show you round and stuff. Anyway, it turned out that a couple of days before we were meant to be doing this, he was really busy. Something had come up and he wasn't able to do it, but he said, I will put you in touch with my friend at the manor and he will escort you round. So you can imagine me like panic mode, but again, the guy was really nice, and he's their communications secretary at the Manor. So I went there on my own. Honestly, had to get a taxi from the station, had no clue really where I was going. So that was scary in itself, but I was in contact with the Hare Krishna monk via the phone. And he met me there, and his name is Radha Mohandas, and he yeah, really nice. And you know, I was kind of, oh, what do? I didn't want to do anything wrong. And so first of all, you have to take your shoes off before you even go in at all, even to like the reception kind of area, where I asked for him, and he came down and took me into the temple room. And they kind of, well, they don't just bow down, they actually literally get on their knees on the floor and like kiss the floor of the temple. That's what they do. He said, obviously you don't have to do this. And he took me in, and they were going to be having well, I think what happened is, because I remember him being sort of kind of, oh no, they finished with the prasadam, which is the blessed food. So basically the food is kind of presented to Krishna, whoever the gods are that they have up at the front of the temple on like the altar part. So the prasadam is then eaten afterwards by the devotees or guests, but we were a little bit late for that, so he was kind of almost mortified that I had kind of missed out on this. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, but for them it's a big deal that guests should have this. So he said, oh, we can go to they've got like, they had a small shop. He said afterwards they do food there. I will get you something because you must have something, you know. So that kind of happened. But they did the whole like the kirtan stuff, you know, the chants and that with music. It's called kirtan. I think I'm saying it right. I may not be saying some of these names right. I did used to know how to pronounce everything, but we're talking, this is like about 14 years ago now, so it's quite a long time. So yeah, so we did all that, and I really loved the music, and still actually I do have some of these kind of kirtan and sort of repetitive chant ones on my, I'm still old-fashioned, iPod. But you can also find them on YouTube as well, and sometimes I listen to them via that. And it was really good, and they passed, you know, I mean, you could do the whole clapping and dancing thing, but because I wasn't sure of myself what I was doing, but he was with me and telling me, you do this, you do that, and they came round with this flame, and I was thinking, what am I supposed to do with that? And you're supposed to kind of, they kind of did something like that with it, but I wasn't quite sure. But yeah, they were fine with that. And it's lovely the way they have like the Hindu deities at the front of the temple room, and they're all kind of dressed up in actual like Indian clothing and like flower garlands around the neck, and it's all done really, really nicely. And so then after that, after we'd done the whole kirtan thing, we went around, and he showed me where they'd got the school on site as well for Christian children. He showed me the rooms upstairs, and then he said, he went off, and I thought, oh, where's he kind of gone? And I sort of stood and waited, and he came back with some beads. And the whole thing with doing this video for you guys is because I was kind of sorting out at home, drawers and things, you know, because we're all in lockdown, and what can you do? And I came across my beads, and I was like, my God, I didn't think I still had them. So, and I've even got the bag, so I will show you. So this is the bead bag that I've got, and these are the ones that you can buy. You can get different images on the front. This is like Jagannath, one of the gods that you very often see at the Rath Yatra festival, which I will explain about as we carry on. I'm probably all over the place. I hope I'm making sense, guys, because I'm jumping from one thing to another. But that's the bead bag, and you just you access it like this. You've got like a hole in it, so you can take your beads out, and you've also got like a zip part as well that you could put your beads in, or some money or something else if you wanted to. And these come in different colours, and you've got this part which you can, they kind of usually wear it around their neck and around, so they've got their beads with them all the time. But oops, sorry. So he actually gave me these, and I said, oh, I should make a donation for those and stuff, and he was like, no, you know, I want to like give you them. So it's 108 beads, so they're like they look like Manor beads that, you know, maybe people who are Buddhist or that might have, but these are called japa beads. So you chant like your japa rounds every day. You're supposed to do 16 rounds of the chant, which he taught me how to do it and how to do for each bead. So you go, you chant the whole chant for each bead, and you move along, and there's 108 beads, and you do 16 rounds a day. You should of these. And the chant, I'm sure probably lots of you know it, but he taught it to me, and I remember when I first started saying it, he said, oh, actually you've got the pronunciation right. He said lots of people don't, so that was a good thing. But yeah, and he was showing me how you sit in like that lotus position, but because I've got a dodgy knee, I couldn't do that. And he said that's fine, again, you don't have to. He said we've got lots of people with different disabilities and stuff, and you know, you can still do it sitting in a chair or whatever. But so the chant is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so I can't believe I still know this. It's embedded. And you do that whole chant for each bead. And like I said, you're supposed to do 16 rounds of this a day. Particularly like the monks or priests definitely will make sure that they do the whole 16. So he gave me these, and you know, I must have held on to them. It's strange how you hold on to things, and it's almost like for a reason, and now it's strange that I've come across them. But yeah, so I have those that he gave me, and we walked around the grounds after we'd done like the inside, and they have like a dairy there, so they have cows, because cows are a sacred animal in India anyway. And I loved that part because I love cows and like farmyard animals, because I was used to that when I was growing up. Like when my dad first got his job in forestry, the first house where we lived, because we lived in two different ones, the first house we lived in was opposite a field with loads of cows in, and I used to love going over and stroking the cows, and my dad used to say, stop stroking those cows, you'll get ringworm or something. And what happened? I got ringworm. But it soon got cured with some cream from the doctor. So of course you can imagine, so I told you that would happen. Keep touching those cows. But yeah, so I wanted to go and stroke these cows at the Krishna dairy, and Radha Mohandas, who I was with, said to me, "Oh, be careful, and I said, "Oh no, normally they're quite gentle." And he said, "Well, they are used to people, but they even play like the music and things out in the dairy. They've got like speakers up, so the cows get all the sort of chant type music and the different like kirtan music played all the time, temple music and stuff." So yeah, so it was really nice. And he also, along with another person, actually contributed, I should say probably, to a book, and he gave me that book. And that and another one I've come across as well. It's madness, because I seriously thought I'd thrown everything away. I used to have the Bhagavad Gita. I don't have that anymore, but I do have the book that Radha Mohandas contributed to. His given name at birth is Richard Cole. So this is the book, the Hare Krishna Movement, 40 Years of Chant. And this was published in 2007, which is when he gave it to me. And it's edited by Graham Dwyer and Richard J. Cole, who is Radha Mohandas. So you've got like origins, developments and organisational patterns. So 1965, when the movement kind of started over here. 40 years of chanting, a study of the Hare Krishna movement from its foundation to the present day. And that's the part that was written by Radha Mohandas, who I had met. Yeah, and then it talks about the founder of the movement over here, Prabhupada and stuff, Not Srila Prabhupada, I should say. Talks about ISKCON, which is the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. That stands for ISKCON. So I still have this. It's a little bit battered, a little bit now, and it's just been stuck in a drawer. But there's also photographs and things in there as well. So yeah. So there was that, and I also found another book that I'd obviously kept. I think I probably kept this because it's Uncovering Spiritual Truths in Psychic Phenomena, and this is Spiritual Warrior 1. There are other Spiritual Warrior books as well, but this is the first one. I don't think I ever had any of the others. So this is Spiritual Warrior 1, Uncovering Spiritual Truths in Psychic Phenomena. So I've got a feeling that's why. Yeah, and it goes into like chapter 1, dreams, a state of reality, and the body, the astral body and the soul. 4 types of dreams outside the body. Chapter 2 is searching for paradise. Where in the universe are we? Agents of the Lord, the eternal cycles of 4 ages, angels and demigods, and then the holy books and higher beings, etc. There's other, you can see with the chapters, there's other things below that as well, sort of subheadings. Fire and brimstone, horns and tails, psychic intrusion, UFOs, extraterrestrials, and the mothership, strangers in our bodies, the pyramids, ancient structures. So actually it's quite interesting, but it's actually written by B.T. Swami. So, and he Swami Krishnapada is his actual name. B.T. Swami Krishnapada. So that was written by him. And when was this from? 2001. First printed in 96, and this one is 2001. So I've still got those as well. Then after I'd been to Bhaktivedanta Manor and met Radha Mohan Das and everything, he said to me, "Why don't you come back for the Diwali festival?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know anyone." And he was like, "No, it's fine," and and I did, but I was really kind of unsure of myself, and I didn't even see him at the festival because he was busy, because he's the communications secretary. So I just walked around the grounds like on my own, met people that said, they don't normally say hi, they just say Hare Krishna, but yeah. And went into the temple room, had the tilak applied, and it's this kind of shape you see put onto the foreheads. So they applied that before I actually went in there that time. It's a road sweeper outside. It's always something when you do videos. It's really annoying. So did that, went through. They'd kind of made it kind of special. You walked through almost like a tunnel thing into the temple room that day because they'd set it up in a certain way for the Diwali festival. So I went in there and listened to some of the music and stuff, and then went outside into the grounds, and they'd got like big like marquees up, and they did like a theatre show, and some of the monks and devotees did this show, showing a scene from like the Bhagavad Gita in there, or a story from there. And actually Radha Mohan Das was one of the actors in it, so that was quite cool to see. And then they had like a big fireworks festival at the end, fireworks display at the end. After that was the last time I went to Bhaktivedanta Manor. I didn't go there anymore after that, but I did keep in contact with Radha Mohan for quite a while afterwards. We used to email all the time, and he was really nice, and his wife was also in the Hare Krishna movement as well, and she was from Mauritius. So then they probably still do it, but in Trafalgar Square in London they were going to have the Ratha Yatra festival, and that translated means like Festival of the Chariots, something like that translated. So it's these big wooden like carts, huge, with like the deities on, and they're actually pulled through the streets with ropes by the Hare Krishna devotees, and you've got some of them actually on the carts as well, flower garlands. It's all really bright and colourful, and it's all kind of dressed up. And one of the deities you normally see for that festival is like the one on here, Jagannatha, I think, but like don't quote me because I don't remember everything, all of the names and how to pronounce, but that was really good. And the carts would come down the street and they'd all be singing and dancing and stuff, and it's just really, really colourful, and loads of people there. And when I went, it was a really lovely day as well, really hot and just so nice. And they were doing food, and people you just queued up if you wanted food, and they just served you with Indian style food, and they were selling saris and incense and books and all sorts of things, which made it like really colourful as well. And I managed to meet Adi Gurudas as well there, who I'd originally met at the Mystic Arts Festival. He was selling his incense and everything there, so I was able to talk to him and bought some more incense, of course. So yeah, and I didn't have a bad experience with them. I mean, obviously I didn't live at the temple like a lot of people that get very heavily involved in it do. But the Hare Krishna people I've met have always been really nice and kind of gentle people. Obviously you're bound to get bad people sometimes, and you get that in everything. There's always going to be a small number of people that are not as good, that are not so nice. But from my experience, I had like a really good experience with them. And I know there is a temple in London as well, in Soho. It's actually just off of Oxford Street, and they have a restaurant next door, which is the like restaurant that kind of is attached to the temple, Govinda's, and it's a vegetarian restaurant, because yes, that's another thing actually with the food. It's all vegetarian food. They don't eat meat at all. That is something that is one of their vows when they kind of become a monk or priest, that you do not eat meat. The guys you see in the orange coloured robes are the ones that are celibate, and are not married or anything. The guys in the white colour are the ones that are married. So that is the difference there. And I've also had this a long time, which I will show you. I had to fix it because the hand was broken on it. This is my Krishna and Radha statue, but you can probably see where the hand broke off, and this bit here was broken, but I managed to kind of fix it. And yeah, this is very nice. Normally this lives in my summer house usually, but I've had this probably almost as long as that. 10 to 14 years old this is. I mean, the colour is coming off of it, I think, a little bit on the yellow part, but it's still in fairly good order. But I couldn't kind of let this one go. But this one I actually got on eBay. I did get it on eBay, but like I say, a lot of years ago. And I used to have, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have Hanuman as well, the monkey god. I used to have one of those. It's a really huge one, but I don't have that anymore. But yeah, and I just found a couple of bits that were inside one of the books. So this would be what you'd see at the Rath Yatra festival, this god. And I've got my thing that gives you a guide to japa meditation, and has the Hare Krishna chant, and there's another one on the back as well, a different one, but I only kind of know this one. And this is Bhaktivedanta Manor, which does have a website, and a sticker that I've never used, which is so that shows you what the deities look like. If you visited the manor, like, you know, so that was inside one of the books. I've been in there for like ever. So yeah, that's kind of my experience with that, really. And I know it was deemed a cult. Some people probably would say that it still is, but like I say, I wasn't heavily involved, but I knew some of the people, and yeah, I just had like a good experience with it. I kind of wish now that I hadn't got rid of the Bhagavad Gita, but you know, but yeah, so that's my experience, guys, with that. I hope it made sense, because you know what I'm like, it's like rambly all over the place, and I don't know if it kind of made sense. I hope so. If you've got any questions, then let me know, and if I can answer them I will do. I'll link Pure Incense website below that has the temple grade Indian incense that Adi Guru Das runs as a business. And just in case anyone's interested, you may not be, but I'll put the link to Bhaktivedanta Manor as well, and they do have a shop too, which I'm sure has probably expanded a lot since when I went there. It was only very small, but I'm sure they've expanded now, and it's online and stuff now. But yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this. Let me know, and yeah, I'm sure I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.